Batgirl issue 7, which is written by Hope Larson and art. New artist, of course, Raphael Albuquerque has regrettably moved on to other things, and we have Chris Wildgoose. I must say,
It's a good name.
I approve of the name Wildgoose. That's a good last name. Anyway, so this issue, Batgirl's back in Burnside, and she is shocked and appalled that her favourite coffee place has been turned into a hipster pet store.
Yeah.
Gentrification is everywhere.
Yeah, and she's shocked and appalled. Her rent's doubled. Her friend Frankie is moving in with her girlfriend, so she has to get a new roommate and stuff like that.
So she's happy about that, but not that her rent's doubling and now she needs another roommate.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
So all this is going on, and on top of it all is a homeless problem, and there's this phone app which is people can use to there's a homeless person lurking around here, and then these people in a van will come and take them away.
Well, here's the thing.
And
I took that as the intentions of starting it were noble, right? There's someone that needs help. Someone can come and take them to the local shelter, right? But of course, it's going to be abused.
Corrupted, yes.
And you kind of see that with the hipster people that are now living in this neighborhood, just kind of treat the homeless person as a piece of trash and like, oh, watch, I'm going to report this.
Do you know what I kind of like, because it is ridiculously hipster. It's showing us that bloody fishbowl.
Well, the great thing just before you go,
I choke people.
I just want to say the great thing is that Barbara the entire time is having the same reactions as us, and
that's exactly it was a criticism of this society.
Yep.
It wasn't glorifying it. It was going, hang on,
no.
This isn't normal. This
isn't
isn't right.
Funny because one of the main complaints, because when I tried the previous Batgirl run, which started the Burnside stuff, they made the big relaunch. She's got the new outfit. I think it was issue 35 around there, a new 52. The reason why I stopped reading it is because I thought it was too hipster. I didn't like it. So this is almost like a weird, meta critique to me of the old run.
It does feel like that, and I liked the old run at first. It kind of went, it lost me as it went on.
Hipster scum.
There was good stuff in there.
I knew Matt would appreciate that.
But this does feel like a meta criticism of it, because it's like, you changed it up too much. People don't like it. Barbara doesn't like this. It's all changed.
Yeah, it's almost it's
some familiarity in there.
It's like she's come back and her comic book series has changed. Like, what's this? Why is everything different and hipstery?
Yeah.
Well, and I thought that was kind of like the whole coffee thing, because that's considered a hipster. You have your favorite independent coffee shop, but so it's even gone too far for her. So it even fits kind of in line without being an overly meta thing. But yeah, like Connor said, when they get to that party and they're like, "Oh no, bring a swimsuit. It's a pool party," and then she walks in there and it's a fishbowl, and the pool's on the top floor.
What annoys me more is that someone's got their phone in that fishbowl.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Waterproof phones, I guess.
I know, but and I know you can get waterproof phones, but why would you take that with you in there? Enjoy that. Just put your phone away.
Because no one's going to know you're there unless you have your phone with you to tell everybody where you were.
Yeah, you need to take a selfie.
Touché.
You need to take a selfie. That's just the rules of the modern world. So two key things happen here. This is where she learns about the whole homeless app thing, or not the homeless app, but she learns about she overhears this conversation from these two awful people talking about how homeless should be thrown away or something like that.
Out of sight.
The other thing, of course, the big thing is she meets Ethan, who turns out to be the son, and we knew this was coming because it's called the Son of the Penguin.
Son of Penguin.
That's the arc. But she meets Ethan, and what I love about the whole way she finds out is he hands her a business card. She's like, "Wait, Cobblepot? No relation to." And I want to go on a slight just tangent here and explain why this made me laugh even more. It's because there's a British show called Bottom from the early 90s.
Right.
Really slapstick, over the top, hitting each other with frying pans, all that kind of thing. And they're called Eddie and Rich, the two main characters. They're roommates. And you very rarely hear their last names, but as a joke in one of the episodes, someone would ask Eddie what his last name was, and he'd say, "I'm Edward Hitler." And the joke of the episode is that the person he says that to he laughs and goes, "Huh, any relation?" He's like, "Yes, I've got a mother." And I thought of that when I read this page, and it really made me laugh. But yeah, he's like, "Wait, Cobblepot? Any relation?" He's like, "Yeah, I call him Dad." And then she immediately phones up Nightwing, and it's like, "Dick, have you heard about this Cobblepot having a son? And then, so not only did I love that they're having like a constant communication, because she was in his book, in the first arc of his, and that was cool, and now we're getting a little bit of the reverse. I love that, they have this sort of relationship, and there is a sort of romantic involvement, but instead of him getting jealous, and maybe you could argue that there's some jealousy like mixed in here, but he mostly just makes fun of her for dating a Cobblepot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and someone who could potentially be evil.
Yeah, and then she throws that back in his face, because you've never dated anyone who's been evil, and it's just a good fun banner.
Like, hey, come now.
Yeah, again,
I also love that he's like, never heard of him. Like, I love how he just says, come onto the scene. Yeah, like, because not even Nightwing, and Nightwing, he's dialed in to Gotham, so...
Yeah. Also, I love that she's like, I heard you were just, like, keeping a low profile in Bloodhaven as he's fighting a robot.
Yeah. And he's like, something like that.
Oh god, I love Dick and Bab's relationship so much.
Yep. It's so good.
It is. It feels real. Like, because even if they're not dating, they're still close enough to call each other about some villain or someone they suspect to be a villain.
Yeah, because what she says, I'm going to do some recon in the date. And she's like, is that what the kids call it now?
Yeah.
But anyway, so she's on the way to the date, and she sees this like couple use the app for the homeless person to see. So she's like, I want to check this out. And it's like, good thing I brought my my superhero gear. And she suits up and she like stakes out, and she's like, and I like there's a countdown timer to when the date's supposed to start, because it's getting like, it's getting a bit late. Maybe she should end the stakeout. But sure enough, Van pulls up and takes the homeless person away. And when they open it in the other end to the evil scientist who uses them for research and nefarious means, I was going to say spoiler there, not spoiler. Plot twist: Barbara's inside the van. She snuck in somehow. And she jumps out and beats up the guys. And one of my favorite panels of the book, because we're not really spoken about the art, and we should speak about the art because it's a new artist. But one of my favorite panels of the book is the silhouette shot when she's like, it's
outside
like
the van.
Yeah, and she's like. Doing her sort of karate pose, and it's the scientist opposite her, and it's in silhouette, but her yellow belt and the yellow symbol are still visible.
And
the white hair on the scientist.
Yeah, it's just
nice.
Nice little touches. So we should talk about the art, actually.
Yeah. At first, I didn't like it because it wasn't Albuquerque, and then I was like, "Well, that's stupid." Like, as it kept going, I got more used to it.
So it's funny, Matt. I have a very similar opinion where. I don't know if I necessarily had the thought of, it's not Albuquerque, I don't like this. Obviously, I don't like it as much as Albuquerque. That's very, I think, clear. But it was very much a case of first couple of pages, like, I'm not sure about these faces. I don't know if I'm feeling this. The faces specifically. But by the end of the issue, it kind of grew on me. Like I was getting into the style of the artist a little bit.
I will say I love Albuquerque, and he's one of my favorites. But I think Goose
Don't
here
you
is
say
better
it.
suited
Don't you
for
say
this
it.
story.
Oh.
I feel like having Albuquerque out in Asia, like it really helped give it a separate tone for this different place. Whereas this kind of brings it back into like it feels artistically similar to the previous run. But I think that works because it's like, okay, Burnside's home, so this is like a home style for when she's here.
I thought you were just saying it was better.
No, I'm not going to say it's better. Okay. I think it's better for this particular setting.
Okay. I should let you finish.
Matt will one day learn that lesson.
So impatient.
Never will. Never will.
There are very few artists I will say, or outright say are better than Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was fine. I think the faces grew on me as the issue went on. It's definitely a little bit more cartoony than Albuquerque's is.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's definitely a thing. But still works. It certainly wasn't bad. I was certainly getting into it more as it went on. A couple of the poses were maybe a little bit, proportionally just a little bit off, but not super amount. So
just in the story stuff we haven't mentioned, she's obviously taken a new course at college.
Yes, yeah, she has.
Was it library science?
Yeah.
I was like, that's a strange course name.
I'll be honest, until I got to that page, I never realised there was such a thing as a library science class.
Now, I don't know if there's a science, but I do think to become a librarian, it is a different skill set. and I never thought of that. It's not just like
I'm going to be honest.
you show up for the job.
I'm going to be honest, and I never really considered the idea that you had to be trained to be a librarian. Like you know, in schooling, I mean, like obviously you have to learn what you need to do in the job, but I thought it was a job that you could probably just, you know, learn on the job and learn how to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there'd be a science to it, but
I like what they point out that, you know, no, it's a sense of community. And that's what it's about. And I think other than Nightwing, there's not a better character to use that trope with, the sense of community, than Batgirl, as she's back in her old neighborhood that's changed. And
it's like she wants to set up a new community and regain what she's lost.
Yeah,
and I think that works really well.
Burnside will be her Bloodhaven, and that's cool. And I like it as well because it kind of plays into her whole love of computers and information, but it's like the more old school version.
Yeah,
like that's still important to her. So
and I'm sure it's got a great retirement plan, because we all know the superheroics, not a great retirement plan.
That's fair.
So out of all, she's actually being responsible out of everybody.
Typically,
to be fair, I would expect Babs to be responsible.
Of course, right? It's in... Yeah.
Let me finish my goddamn sentence, you pieces of shit. Man, don't shrug. It's bad for the audio listeners.
True.
Yeah, if you're going to shrug, at least go, along with it.
That's not a playful shrug. You know, it's hard to do the sound of a playful shrug.
So I got one more thing just mostly about the art that I'd like to mention, but it's in the writing as well. It's something that we've had the whole time, where it's all in thought bubbles instead of caption boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing it more with the new artist than I was with Albuquerque. It feels like there's a lot more space on each page.
Yeah.
Like the backgrounds especially, there's just a lot of just space because it's not cluttered with all these narration boxes. There's thought bubbles every so often, but even there's far less of them than we typically see of narration boxes.
Yeah, I feel like even just compared to the first arc, there's less thought bubbles than there was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, quite possibly. I'm not.
This is her reacting to other people, not just herself. That Asia story was pretty much her rolling solo.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I really like how it makes the book feel like bigger. It makes Burnside feel bigger than it probably is, because it feels like there's a lot of it, because we're seeing more of it than we normally do.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Also, this might give us Ethan Cobblepot as the first hipster villain, and that.
That's exciting.
Finally.
I mean, to just wrap up the plot, she realizes that the company that made the app, which has been abused by these evil people, was Ethan Cobblepot's company. So we end with her going to the date to basically try and interrogate him, I guess, and that's the end of the issue. So that should be a fun issue next month. So.